All right. Okay, so today is day number 7 of the journal challenge. So we have been doing this for a whole week. Those of you who have been following along, this is your first day. Then I just welcome you to the journal challenge. It is basically a self-discovery challenge that we are doing for the whole month of January. And so we have went through a different word of the day each day this month. And today we are going to talk about alignment, which is actually one of my favorite things to discuss. So just to kind of bring you to the day. Hey, Veronica. Bring you towards today. We talked about bondage. We talked about boundaries, intention. We've talked about being mindful. We talked about being authentic. I feel like I'm missing something, but whatever it is, today we're talking about being in alignment. So if you want the journal questions to come to your inbox and to get the direct link to the website to give you the recorded videos and the questions from this week and moving forward, just text journal 30 to 39492, journal 30 to 39492. So as you know, we are at the start of a new calendar year. I always like to say a new calendar year because if we go with the cycle of nature, the new year actually starts in the spring when we think about renewal and things being fresh and new. This is really a time in nature where things are kind of resting and hibernating, and this is a time to be reviewing and reflecting, which is what we're doing now. But most people do set new intentions and goals and make changes during the start of a calendar year. So we're going to go with that, and we're going to look at each day. What have I done different to bring me closer to my best self? And that has been the theme each day. I don't care, even if you miss a day, just always know to look at what have I done different for today to bring me closer to my best self, okay? Upon rising and basically throughout the day, which really ties into what we're talking about today, which is alignment. And when we think about alignment, we're just talking about making sure that whatever our purpose is, whatever our intentions are, that we are making choices that are in alignment with who we are aspiring to be and whatever our purpose is for our life. And so when we think about that, it's every little decision. I mean, even down to, when someone asks you to participate in something, we need to start looking at, is this in alignment with my purpose? Is this in alignment with, who I want to be, who I am aspiring to be? When we think about the company we keep, when we think about projects that we take on, even down to, the food we eat, every little thing that we do, our years are made up of our days. And so we just have to be mindful, which was one of our words this week. We have to be mindful that we are making decisions that are in connection with that. And so our first question in connection with that is, where is there a disconnect between your purpose and your daily activities? Where is there a disconnect between your purpose and your daily activities? And so just kind of take, inventory of your day and the things that you typically do, and then connect that with who you are aspiring to be and what your purpose is and see if they are parallel and if they match up. When we think about the things that we value and what's most important to us, we can look at whether or not we are spending our time and our money in those areas. And so if you say that your family is most important to you, are you spending that time with your family? Are you spending your resources on your family? You know, if you are spending more time at work or doing things outside of your family, then you just kind of need to take inventory and see, you know, why that is. That means you're out of alignment. When you think about, you know, what or who you are aspiring to be, we talked about intentions earlier this week. When we think about what our intentions are, intentions again is about how we show up in the world and the things that we value. It's not our goals. Our goals are what we want to accomplish. If we think about what our intentions are the things that you do, even not even what you do, but what you say. Is that in alignment with who you say that you are? Your deeds should match your declarations, and if they do not, then you're out of alignment. If you are in any type of situation with a friend, you know, if you are outgrowing someone, or you know, somehow that relationship or that friendship, you know, isn't meshing, it's kind of, you know, you're bumping heads a lot. You need to take inventory, check in and see, okay, are we out of alignment here? And is this, you know, purpose filled for my life? Now, you do have to have some understanding about what purpose is and about who you are in order to see if you are in alignment. And if you are in a space right now where you aren't able to really check in with yourself and be true to yourself about who you are and the way you are showing up, then it's going to be hard for you to take inventory and to see if the things that you are doing and saying are in alignment with your purpose and who you are called to be. These are things that, again, we're taking a journey of self-discovery as we journal through, and taking self-inventory is major. And it's not something that we do and we perfect. It's the same thing we talked about yesterday when we talked about being being authentic. We have to make sure that it's a daily process. We are constantly growing. We are constantly learning. If you're not growing, you're dying. So you want to make sure that you are, you know, reaching out for growth. And so even just, you know, doing this journal challenge is helping you to grow. And so you have to know that it's a daily process. What had you in alignment, you know, last month or 6 months ago or a few years ago, it doesn't mean that you're in alignment with that today. And so that's why we take inventory, and we have to take an honest inventory. And sometimes that might mean, you know, asking the people in your tribe that you trust, people who you know are going to give you good value-based opinions and feedback. You know, how am I showing up in the world, or what do you think that I value? You know, what impression do I leave on people? Because you might have this different idea of yourself. Now, understand that you might have one person tell you something that is totally contradictory to what everyone else says. But if you have like 3 or 4 people kind of telling you the same thing, then you need to definitely, you know, take a look at what that is. And so when we think about alignment, we have to look at all areas of our life. If you are looking at making, if you're trying to be debt free, or, you know, say you have some type of financial goals or some type of intention around finances, then you look at, when you make decisions, is this in alignment with what I want to do? And if it's not, then you shouldn't do it. And it's sometimes it's not as easy, but if you start to look at every single decision in your life, you will realize that you are just freeing yourself on so many levels. You're starting to go deeper and peel back different layers in different areas of your life. When we look at areas of our life, we're looking at spiritual. We look at vocational when we think about work. We look at financial. We look at marital relationships. We look at how we are as parents. We look at things that we do that are connected to what our interests are. There are so many different areas of our life that we can tackle to see if we're in alignment. You don't have to do it all at once, but you do need to at least assess each area and then figure out, okay, where in my life am I out of alignment? And so that goes to, hey, Lori, that goes, back to, again, I keep talking about this, about being in bondage. Every principle that we talked about this week has something to do with connecting that and assessing that every single day, because you can get out of bondage in one situation, in one area of your life. And if you're not careful, if we slip back into our old ways, if we allow ourselves negative self to believe that negative self-talk, then we'll go right back, into that situation. So it's a daily walk. It's about making adjustments. That was one of our words this week. Making adjustments, because we have to constantly take a look at ourselves. That is how we grow. We never want to beat ourselves up. We never want to play the blame game with ourselves, but we do want to make sure we take a daily look at ourselves. This helps us also in our relationships, because when we can look in, it helps us to be, more tolerable and more understanding and forgiving when we're dealing with people in our tribe or people who are not in our tribe. Everyone is not an energetic match for you, but it helps you to understand other people and also helps you to be more on guard and protect your space and your energy. And so when we think about, again, our word of the day being alignment, just know every single decision, even as you're listening each night and doing this journal challenge, think about, okay, is this helping me to be in alignment? I never want to take for granted that any of you are listening or here, just for the fun of it. Take everything you do serious. Take everything you do with deep purpose and intention. We have fun and we go through life, but it is not always serving to just go with the flow. We talked about yesterday about being a chameleon and just blending in. You can't always go with the flow, all the time. You got to stay in the present moment, but you also have to be intentional about, what am I doing here? How is this a setup for success? How is this helping me to serve better and to just be a better person to the people who depend on me and the people who I depend on? We're all connected. We're not islands. So let's see. Okay, so we talked about, where is there a disconnect between our purpose and our daily activities, and about making, when we make a decision, to see if it's in alignment with our purpose. So just for a moment in your journal, I want you to write down, just think about the last decision that you made. The last one that you can remember that you made, because we're constantly making decisions, but think about the last decision that you made. Was it in alignment or out of alignment? Was it in alignment or was it out of alignment? And when we think about that, there are so many paths to take in our life, but there is only one path that is going to be in alignment with living with purpose. And so when about your purpose, it's like your purpose is basically like a perpetual end game. You always start with the end game. You start with the end in mind. That way you can work your way backwards. And when you know what that is, then you can make the decisions that are in alignment. Now, when you don't have boundaries, which again was one of our words this week, then you just kind of let whatever happens, and then you have chaos. So just think about the last decision that you made, and was it in alignment or was it out of alignment? Was it in alignment or out of alignment? And so today's affirmation, again, we want to always affirm ourselves. When we think about, answers to some of these questions, is never to be, again, to play a blame game or to give negative self-talk. We're just discovering and assessing who we are and where we are. And so our affirmation for today is, I make choices that are in alignment with my purpose. I make choices that are in alignment with my purpose. And you can say that it's today's affirmation, but you can say that before you make a decision. Think about the decision, then say, I make choices that are in alignment with my purpose. And then you ask yourself, is this in alignment with my purpose? And I guarantee you, I promise y'all, if y'all start putting this into practice, you are going to start making better decisions that serve you, better decisions that are more serving and more parallel to the person that you want to be and who you aspire to be. So again, I like to tell you all, if you want to get the questions to your inbox, text Journal 30 to 39492. Journal 30 to 39492. Today is also the start of the Transformation Breakthrough. Yesterday was the very last day to sign up. And so if you missed it, I'm sorry. That's another missed opportunity. However, there will be a chance for you to join the February group. So if you missed out for January, you can join the February group, and I'll give more details about that later. But moving forward, I ask that you share this video, tag someone who you think will benefit, and just spread the love. We all are on our own different journeys, but again, we can go further together than we can go alone. And so I thank you for listening. Text Journal 30 to 39492. And tomorrow is Monday, the start of day 8. And tomorrow we're going to talk about opportunities. So that will be day 8. So thank you for listening. Inbox me, give me some feedback. If there's something you want to share, something you want to know that you didn't put in the comments, feel free. And I will see you tomorrow, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you. Good night.